Hi everyone, Natalie here. Oily, very acne prone skin, as you can tell. This is gonna be like my last live video, so I hope you're if you're sick of me and I'm gonna have to see my videos again. So okay, it's noisy because I think my sister's using a blender in the kitchen. So I'm gonna basically talk about all basically like do like a roundup post of all the products within the 4-box and my routine with them, as well as like my overall thoughts about the box. So yeah, I have all of the products in front of me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 products into 3. Yep, 9 products. Okay, didn't miscount that. Yeah, so it's been about a month since this is day 30, so like a month precisely, or since I've started using all the products. I'll show you how much is left for each one and whether or not you think that the box is worth it. So as you can see, very acne prone, but it's not bad. Like, it's really my skin's doing well, given that this is usually the week where everything was erupting into pus and everything the last few days. I haven't been feeling very well, so I haven't taken really much time or effort to do like a whole full-blown routine. Some days I just want to stop on one product and then I spend the entire day sleeping or in bed, but not bad. I really cannot wait to buy some of these items full size. So okay, let's start with aloe and oat. As you can see, it is mostly gone. So like when I shake it up before each time I use it, like it's actually, honestly, this should have finished already, because I substituted this with a non-SP cleanser some days because I was really afraid it would run out before the month was up. And I'm very liberal with my usage of cleansers in that it's very like I do it all over my neck and my back and my chest area as well, because I get a lot of acne, especially in the back area. But I think my acne in that area has gotten better. I'm not sure how much of it is the cleanser. This has been a pretty decent cleanser. It doesn't foam up as much as I'm used to, which is good. It shows low pH. It's very, very gentle, but I'm not sure I will, like, just given like in terms of like monetary priorities, this isn't really a priority, so I don't think it'll be like, it's nice. I'm not sure I'll purchase a full size, but if you have very sensitive skin, this is perfect for you. Like, the scent is not that strong, it won't irritate you or anything, and yeah, it's gentle but it's thorough. Let's talk about vacuum. I am about slightly less than halfway through vacuum. This one I tend to only use when I'm wearing makeup, because I wear it during work a lot, and then I wear during work a lot, and I have used it a couple of times on bare skin. I actually should probably use it more, but like a vacuum lasted pretty well. Like, if sample size honestly does last very long, and I'm obviously a bit more stingy using this than I am with the cleanser itself, so like it's pretty decent that like this is still like left. Vacuum will always repurchase a full size. I still have a full size bottle left over from when I bought last year. I will not use it all the time to remove my makeup, but it is definitely a great addition to my routine. It is definitely the best cleansing oil I have ever used. It remains that it really gets up my gunk in a way that no other cleansing oil does, and the fact that I think that I've been using this regularly has made a difference to getting out the grits out of my skin, as opposed to my standard cheaper cleansers, oil cleansers. Okay, botanic alcohol acid toner. Okay, definitely buying a full-size bottle of this, so you can predict that, like, I really love this product. I think it's made a big difference to my skin. As you can see, this is the product that I've used like every single time. I have only substituted it a couple of times with maple essence in the last week, because I'm just like worried about this running out. Okay, I'm legitimately worried about this running out before I can get like a full-size bottle, because I don't know how I'm gonna live without this in my routine. what comes after that. Let's talk about pumpkin spice latte. I'm basically going this in more or less the order I would in my routine, except I would start with vacuum first, not L and O first. I don't know why I started with that. Okay, pumpkin spice. I am more than half. I think this is like a third of the bottle left. I've been fairly regular with using this product, because it's and also like a bit more liberal with using this than the other serum, because this one is lighter, it plumps your skin, it's really hydrating. So like from what I've seen in the reviews, this works really well on aging skin, especially if you have dealing with like dry skin or wrinkles. So like the plumping factor is really great. It is not my favorite product. Like I love the scent, but I doubt I will purchase like a full-size bottle of this. But it's been nice to use. Like I have like no complaints, but it's like, you know, it's a 3-star review. You know, there's nothing terribly bad about this, but it's nothing that makes me shout about it the way apple cider does. Okay, so I am about 2/3 through apple cider. So at one point I was about the same as pumpkin spice latte. At one point, like I had way more apple cider than I did pumpkin spice latte, because I just used this one less liberally. I was afraid of aggravating my skin with acids plus retinols and everything. But I've noticed that recently I've just apply a lot, firstly because I love the scent, it smells amazing, but like also I'm just like, you know, just give me that acid, I just throw everything onto my face. Sometimes I skip pumpkin spice latte and I just move directly to this, especially when it's at night. So great product, probably repurchasing a full size. I love that I can use this along with retinols, and it's so gentle that like the retinol still works without being like affected by the lowered pH of the skin because of this. Okay, During Grey Beauty oil. I do not use this in a day because I just don't use this in a day, because I am not a fan of using retinols in a day. Like I know you can just slap on SPFs and everything, but I just don't like to. It's like a fear of getting overly sensitive skin in the sunlight, which I did with the very first retinol I ever used, and my skin just turned dry, scaly, and it was terrible. So there's still quite a bit left. Yep, because I definitely don't like spam this on my face the way I do with my serums. So this has been like, I mean, it's not the first time I'm using it. This is like a good stable product that I will use within my routine, especially when my skin's feeling dry. It's definitely not as powerful as Sleeping Beauty, but still a great product to have. I still have like, this is, I think, I still have another sample size bottle of this, so I'm unlikely to repurchase anytime soon, but, you know, really great, especially if you have dry skin. So, like, see, like, most of my comments on the product so far is that, like, it's really good if you have dry, sensitive skin, I feel. It works as well if you have oily skin, but I don't think it has that oomph factor that it would for dry skin, which I think was the point of the fall box anyway, like, that dryness when you transition from summer to fall. Okay. Witch's Brew. I think halfway through. I applied it again last night and I was very liberal with my application. Most of it is like the solid product as opposed to the oil left, probably because I spilled so much of the oil on my laptop during my first live. It's growing on me, and that like I quite enjoyed applying it last night, but I'm not sure yet if I'm gonna do a full size, because I'm really not a fan of the kinds of masks that require you to mix and to stir or anything. So but it is definitely a great product, like regardless of your skin type. It doesn't dry out my skin as I expected it to, and there was definitely, like, I think a reduction in redness after I used it yesterday, and definitely my skin just felt like exfoliated and plumped and happy after using it. So, but it's not as hydrating as some of the other SB products, neither is it as powerful in terms of like acne busting. Like if I want hydrating, I would usually turn to Holy Lotus. That one's also good for exfoliation. And then I would turn to Sakikasu if I want something for my acne, which I did the other night, and I really miss having Sakikasu in my routine. So that's the thing, like it's like a decent product, but it's really difficult for me to, because I'm just really lazy when it comes to masking, and so it's difficult for me to use because of having to like mix and stir and everything. So I don't know like if I will replace it in my routine, like, you know, buy a full size. At the moment I'm veering to no, but I probably might buy a sample size again when this is up, just to, so I like have the option of having it within my routine. But like, you know, the thought of this like mixing and stirring, like if you have detox already regularly in your routine, like I think witch's brew might be a good option for you. Ekaterina, which I have not used very much. I love the scent. I love the scent so much, but I really haven't used this very much. It's still like mostly there, probably about 2/3 there. It's really one of those products I want to love so much that I bought a full size of it. But just with the way my skin is, I'm just much better off sticking with donkey cream in my routine. But you know, I know people who have this and they hoard this over this like holiday season, just because even though it's probably one of the most expensive products in the SB range, but it's just like so amazingly good. Yep. Malot Sparkle, which I have not used very much. Like I didn't realize how melted it was that first time I used it. Stuck it in the fridge. Every time I tell myself like, you know, I'm gonna try to use it some more, I do not. Yeah, I do not, because I am a huge lipstick wearer and fiend, so a lip tint doesn't really cut it for me. Like I have loads of reds that I can use. I love the scent, but I am not a fan of this product at all because it's very minty and I feel like it burns my skin. Yeah, there's that slight like burning scent, and I wasn't sure about it. Then like I asked Lin Tong to try it that time when I went over to her house and did the live with her, and she agreed with me about the burning thing. So it's not just me. The burning has reduced now that I've put the product in the fridge, and I've mostly been like, you know, slathering on while it's still solid instead of taking the liquid and like wiping it on my skin. But not something I would repurchase. Like Lin Tong said that it's a different formulation from the one she got during Christmas, which was like a sugar cookie thing. Okay, there it goes. It's burning. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan. Not for this kind of color payoff. I like my reds, not when it's this faint. Okay, so like overall thoughts about the box. It's been a great honor to like review this constantly. I'm like, you know, take out the photos and not have anyone tell me like, you know, I'm being too narcissistic or anything with all the products. It's been great. I hope my reviews have been useful. This I think is just like I like I said, I've liked certain products enough that I will buy a full size of it. But I just don't think that this has been a great box to put. I think the products can go into my routine, and then but it's not a core box of items that like, you know, all these are just items that I can live on and die on alone. Like I still need my donkey milk gel, I still need my Sleeping Beauty, yeah, so I really need my donkey cream. I think that's been like the product that I've just used the most, that all month, that's been like a non-fall box product. Yep. So like pretty decent box. I can see how it's really good for dry skin people. If you are acne prone, I'll still like, and you don't have any acids in your routine, I'll still like gently suggest that you try the box anyway, because I think the apple cider and botanical acid toner will be really good for you. Oh, sorry, I grabbed vacuum instead of like the botanical acid toner. And I do think that like with regular usage, witch's brew is probably going to be pretty good for your skin in a way that it hasn't been for me, because I have not been using it regularly because I've been lazy with masks. So again, hope everything's been useful. This is my last live. If you're watching this via YouTube, like and subscribe to the channel, and like have a nice day.